Hello and namaste. Welcome to Temples, Books and Science. In this series on quantum physics and Vedanta, I have spoken extensively about consciousness. But there seems to be a lot of confusion on what this consciousness is exactly. Our understanding of consciousness is based on our observations of conscious beings. We think of consciousness as the ability to think, to feel, to experience sensations like pain and heat and discomfort and joy. Science believes that consciousness is an emergent property of the brain. Certain configuration of certain type of cells gives rise to consciousness. But even science does not have definitive answer to this question of what exactly is consciousness. Is it the ability to see, hear, touch, and think? Is it the ability to be self aware? Today, I want to talk to you about Vedanta's view on consciousness. Vedanta, which according to me is the science of consciousness, has a very different stance on this subject. Vedanta says consciousness is the only reality and it is all pervading. What does it actually mean by this? It is certainly not describing the consciousness that we are familiar with. It does not mean the ability to see, hear, taste, touch, or smell. It does not mean the ability to think and reason. It does not mean the ability to feel emotions like joy, sorrow, love, and disgust. It is obvious that none of these things are all pervading. Vedanta defines consciousness as pure awareness. If you look at all your experiences, what is the common thread that runs through all of them? It is awareness. You are aware of the objects you see. You are aware of someone touching you. You are aware of feeling some emotions. You are aware of thinking certain thoughts. This awareness is consciousness. When we are awake or dreaming, it is close to impossible to know pure awareness because it is intimately associated with some experience or other, like seeing, hearing, thinking, and feeling. The only time we come close to experiencing pure awareness is a state of deep sleep, when we are neither awake nor dreaming. In deep sleep, all our senses and the mind are temporarily switched off. What remains is pure awareness. Since all the instruments that we use to experience the world is not available, you cannot experience deep sleep the way you experience the real world. What do you see, hear, touch, feel, or think in deep sleep? You do none of these things. While you are in deep sleep, you don't experience anything. Yet you are aware. Your pure awareness. I am. When you're not in deep sleep, you associate this awareness, I am, with other things like I am this body, I am this mind, I am this emotion, I am this experience. In deep sleep, there is only I am, pure awareness. You simply are. You only exist. Your pure and simple existence. Like awareness, we associate our existence with other things. My body exists. My mind exists. The world exists. In deep sleep, there is only pure existence, separate from all the things that is associated with it. The awareness of deep sleep is the awareness of existence. I am. And this state of deep sleep is a state of pure bliss, which is again the nature of consciousness. That is why a deep, dreamless sleep is so blissful. You can distinguish the bliss of deep sleep from other forms of happiness like joy or thrill or fulfillment. All these other forms of happiness arise out of experiencing the world, whereas the bliss of deep sleep is our very nature and comes from just being our pure selves without the distractions of the external world clouding it. According to Vedanta, this is the nature of consciousness: existence, awareness, and bliss. Sat-Chit-Anandam, existence, awareness, and bliss. Brahman, the consciousness principle, is defined as Sat-Chit-Ananda Rupam, whose nature is existence, consciousness, and bliss. It is this awareness that is called consciousness in Vedanta. This brings me to the subject of meditation. The goal of most of the ancient meditation techniques is to help us attain this state of pure blissful awareness even while we are awake. Let me briefly explain the theory behind meditation. Why are we miserable? It is because our mind and body and senses cloud our real nature, which is limitless and blissful. I have forgotten who I am and associated myself with this body and mind. As a result, I have superimposed all the limitations of the body and mind onto myself. All the attributes of the body and mind, like pain, limitedness, mortality, is alien to my real nature. So our soul constantly fights it and tries to get rid of it. It is similar to how our eyes continuously water to remove a foreign body that has entered it. We are constantly looking for something to make us whole again. If only we knew that we need not look outside to find what we are seeking. If only we can pause and look within. Meditation aims to do this. Its goal is to remove all the thoughts and feelings and experiences that cloud our real nature. Once you do this, you can discover who you really are. You can discover your limitlessness and bliss. That is why during meditation, the emphasis is on eliminating the external world from our awareness. You withdraw your senses from the world around you. You focus only on your breath. You distance yourself from your thoughts by merely observing them. In our day to day interactions, we don't have any distance from our thoughts or sensations. By observing your thoughts, you try to separate the awareness of thoughts from the actual thoughts. We also try to focus all our senses inwards. As we reduce the number of sensory inputs, we become hyper aware of our sensations. In that highly sensitive state, it becomes possible to separate the awareness of a sensation from the actual sensation. The goal of meditation is to internalize the truth that this pure awareness is me and these sensations are not me. If you are interested in this topic, I've done a couple of videos on meditation. You can find the links in the description. Now let us address another important question. Is consciousness limited only to human beings? Are animals conscious? Are trees conscious? What about single-celled organisms like bacteria and virus? Vedanta says that consciousness is the only thing that exists. It pervades everything, but only living beings have the capacity to manifest it. And it is certainly not limited to only human beings. It manifests in all living beings in different forms. I'll try to explain this with another example. Let us think of consciousness as electricity and all conscious beings as electric powered gadgets. How does the electric power appear in a light bulb? It appears as light. How does the same electric power appear in a fan? It appears as rotation. When a fan is rotating, you know that electricity is passing through it. How does it appear in a television? As images on the screen. You know it is electricity that is making it happen because when there is no electricity, they cannot function. They are as useful as a rock on the street. Depending on the type of equipment, electricity manifests in different forms in different equipment. In a light bulb, it manifests as light. In a fan, it manifests as the power of rotation. In a heater, it appears as heat. But electricity is none of these things. It is not light or heat or movement. Similarly, consciousness manifests in different forms in different living beings, like seeing, hearing, sensing, thinking, feeling, etc. But it is not any of those things. Why does electricity appear in different forms in different gadgets? It is because of the nature of the gadget. In a light bulb, it can only manifest as light because of the unique design of the bulb. In a heater, it can only manifest as heat because of the unique design of the heater. We should not confuse the nature of the equipment with the nature of electricity. Similarly, we should not confuse the nature of conscious beings with the nature of consciousness. If you take human beings, their equipment is highly evolved. Our mind is capable of tapping this consciousness for complex processing, just like a computer is able to use electricity for complex processing. All the confusion regarding consciousness is because we are unable to differentiate the equipment which manifests consciousness and consciousness itself. Your eyes see because they are powered by consciousness, but seeing is not consciousness. Your mind thinks and feels because of consciousness, but thinking and feeling is not consciousness. In a Vedantic text called Kenopanishad, there is a beautiful verse which explains this. Shrotasya shrotam manaso manoyad vachoha vacham savupranasya pranaha chakshuscha chakshuh atimuchya dhiraha pretyasman lokad amrita bhavanti. Consciousness is the ear of the ear, mind of the mind, speech of the speech, life of life, and eye of the eye. A wise man attains immortality by separating the self from the sense organs and renouncing the world. There is no difference between the consciousness that manifests in you and the tiniest of living being. Just like the same electric power manifests in a light bulb and a supercomputer. When you consider this definition of consciousness as pure awareness, you will find that it is a lot more pervasive than we think. You can observe this awareness even in the smallest of living beings. Take a bacteria or a virus. They are not conscious in the way science defines consciousness. Yet there is awareness. What is life if not awareness? Awareness of when to reproduce, to grow, and respond to the changing environment. This is awareness in its most basic form, an awareness that does not reason or understand or feel. There is no thinking, feeling, or sensing, but there is awareness. You can observe this awareness in the migration of birds, in the community of trees, and even in individual cells in our body. What about the universe itself? Is there awareness there? I think you can see it in the perfect fine tuning of the fundamental forces, in the low entropy of the Big Bang, and in the quirkiness of the quantum world. In fact, there is a theory in physics called the integrated information theory, which says that consciousness is everywhere, but it manifests in certain places. The theory involves a lot of mathematics that I don't understand. From whatever little I understand of the theory, it sounds just like Vedanta, only with complex mathematics. Consciousness is all pervasive and it manifests only in some places. Doesn't it sound more like a commentary on Vedanta rather than a theory in physics? Before I close, I want to give you a small exercise. With this new understanding of consciousness as pure awareness, can you examine the world for the signs of consciousness? Do you see it anywhere? Let me know what you find. That's it from me. Thank you for watching. If you wish to be updated whenever I post a new video, please subscribe to my Telegram channel. If you like this video, click on the like icon and share it with your friends. If you have not already subscribed to my YouTube channel, Please do. Until next time, namaste.